So today we'll be talking about a topic that, in my opinion, doesn't get always enough attention, which is an essential part of marketing, and it's actually measuring your results by reporting. So we hear it all the time for our clients. I'm spending money on Facebook ads, on Google ads, my website, but I have no idea if any of it actually works and if it actually brings in new business. So every platform shows me different numbers. Facebook, Google. It's complicated, and I don't have no clue what it all means. So that's a complaint I'm getting. I'm sure Robert, who's here with me, gets that from time to time as well.
Big one, yeah.
And so with different marketing platforms and data coming in, how it can be overwhelming to actually keep track of it all. So today, we're going to talk a little bit more about reporting, like how can you do that for your business and make your marketing better, and we're going to come up with hopefully some practical solutions and tips for our listeners on how they can actually improve this area. So, as I said, a lot of our clients want to have a return on their investment, no matter what they do, right? And marketing is no different. So, but they don't always have the time to work on the numbers, and actually getting the numbers can be a challenge. So we'll be talking about that today in more detail. So welcome to the podcast. My name is Peter DeWitt. With me today, I have our very own Robert van Ginkel.
Thanks, Peter, for having me.
It's wonderful to have you here. Robert, you are a digital lead and digital marketing expert on the team here. So thanks for making it all the way out to the podcast studio.
Yeah, it's a couple steps away, but it's exciting to be here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background. How did you end up here at Edge, and what is kind of your day-to-day role here?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I ended up with Edge right out of school. So I've been working with the team here for 8+ years, and it's been an exciting journey. A lot of changes in this world of marketing and technology as well, especially over the last little bit, especially with the AI coming on. Mm-hmm. So my big role with team is project lead. So just making sure projects get done efficiently and ideally well too. But then also working with clients in the team on generating marketing strategies, but also online campaigns. So for example, Google ad campaigns, Facebook campaigns, and then also more importantly, how do we measure that and track that? And that's what we're going to dive into today.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. So, I work with you on a daily basis, so I really appreciate what you're doing. And like it's an important part of our business, I can honestly say.
Yes.
Like measuring results is something that not everybody is familiar with, like I said earlier, and it gets technical pretty quick. So, but we also know without actually measuring results, it's really difficult to know where you have to make improvements, right? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. So let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
So again, going back to my earlier statement of feedback we're getting from our clients. So I'm spending money on marketing, but I have no idea what is working and what's not working. It's a very old problem in the marketing industry. So what would you tell people when they ask you that question?
It's a great question. It's a question that should be answered. Every business that we work with has at one point already, done marketing, or if they've never really dabbled in it too much because they don't exactly know where their hard-earned money is going. And that's the big question that we get. We know we need to do marketing. We know we're getting results potentially, but we don't know how it's actually performing. So what we always look at is let's cut the clutter. Let's focus on the reporting that matters to you. So that's looking at the campaigns that you're building, being strategic about it. So not just jumping into an action and saying, hey, there's a shiny object, or this is what my competition is doing, so I need to be doing it as well. Before we even jump into anything, before we do even reporting, we say, let's start with a strategy. Let's build a plan out that we can look at short-term and long-term success and then measure those results that are important to you, because each client is different. So it's not just looking at a Facebook interface and saying, hey, I have so many clicks, because that's sometimes can be deceiving information. But we say, okay, what is actually bringing you a return on investment? So that's different for every client, and that's how we like to approach it here. So it's more of a small, more conservative step, and then continue building out from that.
Okay, right. So, and the good news with digital marketing, what's mainly what we're involved in, and I
Yeah,
think most of the marketing in the world now has gone digital, right? I don't know the latest stats, but something like 90% is done digitally right now, and that
correct.
makes sense because let's face it, that's where people hang out, right? So advertisers and marketers are going to be at the places that people are hanging out. And also the good news is, I think, with the digital marketing piece, you can actually measure each and every move, each and every click.
Exactly.
Is that correct?
Exactly. That's the beauty of it, right? Now you can launch a campaign, and usually we say within 3 months you should have a really strong understanding if it's going to be a successful campaign or if there's new opportunities that you can enhance it. But every metric gets measured now. So how many people or how many eyes see your campaign, how many people interact with the ad that you're doing, and how many
Yeah.
people it brings to your website. And then most importantly, now we're tracking, okay, how many people are actually converting to that or becoming a lead. So what that means to you is that if it's a phone call, a form that's filled out, if it's signing up for example, a webinar or listening to a podcast or
Yeah.
any kind of action point that the business wants to track and sees valuable.
Okay, sounds good. So there are so many numbers to look at, right? Like you said, like every click, every move is being
There is.
measured. So like what should people or small business owners focus on? Like, can you is it different for every client? You said,
I,
but are there one or two or three things that actually would stand out for you that people absolutely must start with measuring?
yeah. So, I mean, when you jump on Google or Facebook or any kind of even email like MailChimp marketing, there's just so many metrics, platforms, different reports that you see that it's hard to understand what's going on. It gets confusing because they're always changing their algorithm. So what you learn one day, 2 weeks later you jump on might be different again. So what we always say is start with what's important. So some of the key metrics that we like to track is cost per conversion if we're going into the real nitty gritty of it.
Okay.
Clicks are always fun, likes are always fun, views are always fun, but those are all shiny objects that we're chasing. They don't necessarily mean anything in necessarily a conversion rate unless it's a campaign specifically built on brand awareness. Then maybe impressions or clicks are valuable. But
Okay.
if for most businesses that we work with, it's a bit of a different approach.
So the cost per conversion is something you really pay attention to, right? So
It's a big one.
how do you what is that made up out of?
Yeah, exactly. So we look at cost per conversion as how much money it costs. So if you run a campaign for, let's say, $200 and a client is worth $5 and you get 5 of them sign up, what is that cost per conversion worth to you? So we look at those kind of metrics. We also look at click-through rates, so how healthy the campaign performs, and also the actual number of leads that you get per month. So
Okay, so that's a number that like a business owner should really pay attention to. Like, so what you're saying is if my product or service is worth like $5,000 per client, or let's say like
yeah,
$1,000, then what can I actually invest in my marketing, in my advertising, to actually get that result?
that's right. Yeah.
So then, if you're selling smaller items, then of course that number should be lower than that.
That's correct. So if you're spelling widgets, you generally don't want to spend $20 per client because it depends on the value of the widget
That's
that
right.
you're selling.
Yeah.
So that's important. So if you know a customer, let's say you only need to get let's say 2 or 3 customers per month, but they're valued at $40,000 plus, and you know if you can convert it for that amount of money, the return, the long-term value of the customer,
Yeah.
then you also gives you an indicator of what you could be spending on your advertising as well, or a lead
Yeah.
conversion. It's
Yeah.
not always exact tick for tack, but it definitely gives you an indicator of where you should be heading and what the competition might be doing as well.
Yeah, like somebody explained it to me one day. Like, if for every dollar you invest in marketing, you get $2 back. What should your marketing budget be? Right? Like, well, the
Yeah.
answer is really unlimited.
It's unlimited as long as you're getting your return on investment. So yeah,
Exactly. That's of
right.
course not really realistic, and we know that, right? Like,
No.
everybody works within certain bounds, and we're very respectful for that. But that's kind of a bit of a mindset change as well, right? Like, because if you're too focused on just the cost and not thinking about the end results and what it's
Correct.
going to contribute to the profit in your business. Oftentimes when we talk to our clients about that and explain that to them, and they start to think in those terms, the discussion about spending money on advertising becomes more like investing money in my marketing. Would you agree with that?
That's exactly right. It is all about investing, and that's where it goes back to the reporting part of it, which is so important. When clients do understand that concept, they also want to now track that information, because then they're willing to invest more into their business, into the future growth of the business as well.
Yeah.
But then they want to see that, okay, what does that actually convert to?
Yeah.
And that's where simple reporting comes into play. And that's where we build custom reports a lot of times for clients, because it's more geared towards exactly the needs that they're looking for. So instead of looking at 5, 6 different pages all at once just on one campaign, we try to break it down into one simple page.
Yeah. So again, another feedback I'm getting from clients is, okay, when it comes to reporting and when we introduce some of these concepts, right? They say, well, I run a business. I'm not running a marketing agency. That's your job. So keeping that in mind, like business owners, our clients are very busy people. What are some of the things that they should really focus on, in your opinion, when it comes to the reporting? Like, what are some of the things they need to do first?
Yeah, we always like to look. That's a great question. So the thing we always like to look at is the 20/80 rule. You can apply that to a lot of things, and the same for a business owner that doesn't want to become a marketer because they would rather be focused on growing their business. So what we want to focus on first is, when we do any kind of marketing, again, tying it back to strategy, is where does your ideal audience live? So instead of going out there and trying to do everything, and usually that becomes a lot of headache and a lot of work and a lot of stress, we say let's refocus that into where your ideal customer lives that generate probably 80% of your revenue. Okay. So when it comes to also being a business owner and it comes to marketing and reporting, is let's just focus on that one tool. So let's say if it's business to business, maybe LinkedIn, for example, might be a great tool to just focus your efforts on, and we just focus on the reporting on LinkedIn for the time being.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So it's to kind of what you're saying is like to combat kind of this information overwhelm.
Yeah.
You're suggesting that we build a simplified dashboard or a simplified report that actually adds value to the business owner, like information they can use. Is that kind of what you're saying?
That's right. Yeah, we want them to be part of the journey that they're on. The last thing we want to do is confuse them and make them feel they're not part of it. When we understand that they are part of this marketing strategy and they're involved, they also feel good about the investing and the returns that they're getting.
Yeah.
So instead of being stressed out, they have peace of mind and confidence and assurance, knowing their marketing's taken care of, and they also understand what it means.
Yeah, exactly.
So simplifying it is key.
Yeah, so like the reporting tool is another way of providing feedback.
Yeah.
Keep the business owner informed, and let's face it, like they get information about their financial situation as well, right?
Exactly.
They get reporting on a weekly, or if not on a monthly basis.
For sure, monthly. Yeah, that's right.
Right. So the reporting is kind of like this one aspect that they should pay attention to, and I think with the customers that we have most success with are the people that put value on this, right? They understand they need information to make better decisions.
Yeah.
So it's not just something you can completely, hand over to somebody else. Like at the end of the day, we believe you as a business owner need to take responsibility for your strategy, where your business is going, but then also for your for the results of the return on your investment.
Yeah.
Right. Not only in your core product, but also your return on your investment in when it comes to your marketing.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to do the heavy lifting. We want to do it a done-for-you approach, where you can come to us, ask the questions, and give the advice that you need. But at the end of the day, we also want you to be part of it, because if you're part of it, you also want to invest more into it as well.
Yeah.
And you can see, okay, this is working or this is not. So how do we adjust and fix and find new opportunities?
Yeah, exactly. So like for us as a provider, we are 100% accountable as well through the reporting.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And that's
transparent.
We're very transparent. So the good, the bad, and the ugly. So again, the numbers don't lie, correct?
No.
Like the numbers are what they are, and we're connected directly to things like Google Analytics, right? Google AdWords if you're running advertising on Google and the Meta suite. So the numbers are what they are. Although sometimes we see some slight differences between the different platforms.
There is, yeah.
There is, and there's more of a technical nature, I think. So I think in general, the metrics that come out of Google, you need to take it with a grain of salt, I believe.
Take everything with a grain of salt. And that's where the reporting is so key, because if you, Peter, or myself, or any business owner needs to jump on all these different platforms and try to understand all these different metrics, and they don't line up, it becomes very frustrating.
Yeah.
So just simplifying the reporting onto, let's say, 3 or 4 key numbers that are important to you that we want to track, that helps very helpful. And the other step that we're taking and seeing more and more with reporting is, instead of just taking a simple screenshot of something and sending it off and here's your information, we look at even AI and how it can, work as a tool for you to help understand some of these metrics. So you don't have to become an expert in it, but you definitely become educated in it.
Exactly. Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought up the topic of AI. And we're only like 15 minutes in or so. So
Yeah.
that's something that we are investigating, exactly, right? Like because reporting and measuring results in your marketing is one thing, but I think the way people are searching for your services in your company has changed quite a bit. Can you say anything about how we're dealing with AI search compared to Google search? Is that a thing already? Is that coming up?
It is, yeah. I mean, sometimes it's hard to believe, but it is a new norm, I would say, as to how people are searching, and that reflects on how people report on it as well, and how we report on it, and where we need to focus our efforts too. Because if we always stayed with the search way that Google is doing it now, where you type in a query and you look for your answer, AI now basically tries to, instead of you searching for it, is more focused on providing a active solution for you, so you don't have to do as much digging anymore. So how people use AI online is becoming a lot more quick and a lot faster.
Yeah, no, like it becomes our second nature, right? Like I'm old enough to remember when the search engines first came out, and I see a lot of similarities between the two. By the way, as of the date of this recording, it's June 18th, 2025. And Google, I believe, still has something like 90% of the search traffic. We need to, again, take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot of hype around AI, but we know that it's coming. And then when it comes to reporting, I think another thing that's very important is I listened to another podcast the other day, and they said about the people that actually come through AI to your business are 3 or 5 more times more likely to purchase from you, because there's a higher level of trust right now.
Higher intent searches.
Yeah, exactly. So those are interesting things. So I guess we're kind of grappling with that and see how that's going to affect our customers' online visibility. But the fact of the matter is, you already have seen some early successes, and you started to help us to implement some measurements on how many people are actually using AI, correct?
Yeah, we're starting to track it more. So, for example, with tying it back to reporting again, analytics now released a metric where you can see how many people are using the different sources that are out there. So now they're including, for example, AI searches. So all the different search platforms, and there's many of them already available: Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, and various other ones. Now we can see, okay, are they coming directly from these platforms? Are these different AI models picking them up? And bring in website traffic directly to you. The other thing that we're dabbling at is how we can use AI to help, from a business owner's perspective, simplify the reporting. So how can it help answer the questions you have on the report? So instead of you having to go through the reporting every single time, it provides you, for example, a summary. And that's something the reporting metrics and tools that we're working with are releasing as well. So that might be something coming down the road.
Yeah, so make it even more interactive and easy to interact with that data. So I know we have kind of a very unique way of reporting, right? Like you mentioned that earlier. Like, so it's a simplified version of Google Analytics, really, because Google Analytics, and I work in the business, I find it extremely confusing.
It is.
It scares the wits out of me, I'll be honest. And I don't think it's much different for our listeners. So how do you feel about, when it comes to the report and the system that you're using? It's simple. What are some of the other aspects? Like, what are some of the elements that are in every report that we generate? Because we custom tailor that to our clients as well, correct?
They are fully custom tailored. So we look at the fundamentals of, again, what we've deemed as a marketing agency important that we need to report on. Because that's why the clients come to us. They want to have an understanding, okay, you guys are the experts, so share the information that you think is important. So we lay that out in a very aesthetically, easy to understand way as well. So it's not all these just a spreadsheet with numbers. It's built on, interactive graphs and moving elements that you can easily understand and visually see. The other part of it is we custom update the reports based on the conversations that we have with the clients, based on the different strategies that we're doing, if we're running various different campaigns, based on the metrics that are important to them. So we customize it exactly to their need and to what satisfies their craving for information.
But then again, to put me at ease, like it's when I get your report, and I do get your report every month of the from the Edge marketing efforts for ourselves. But if our average client opens up the report, like, are they overwhelmed, or do they actually see things, terminology and information that they actually can use?
It's information they can use. That's the goal. It's action items that they can utilize. Instead of just giving you a report and saying, good luck, Peter, we actually like to follow up with each client as well on the reporting. So we don't just leave them hanging.
Yeah.
We like to have conversations with them, be it on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, whatever they're comfortable with, and what is available in their schedules. And we walk through the reporting. And what we like to do is consistency in the reporting as well, where a lot of these other platforms change their databases or their algorithms, and you have to learn a whole new way of understanding, for example, Meta or TikTok or Instagram or any of the other ones. We do that for you and then reflect that information on the report that you already know, like, and trust.
Okay.
So the report is always consistent. So after we meet with the client a couple times and build a relationship, and you've met with us and had conversations, when you open up the report link, you have a really good understanding, a bird's eye view of what's happening right away, right from the first metric that you see to the last page. Already what's happening, because consistency is key in what we're doing.
Yeah, that's excellent. So we talked a lot about Google Ads.
Yeah.
Bestseller, or good, like a service we provide for a lot of our clients.
It is, yeah.
Facebook advertising. Okay, everybody knows Facebook. What about some other marketing metrics, like email marketing, connections to CRM?
Yes.
Some of those things, or even the organic social, if you don't pay for advertising on Facebook.
All of that reporting we can include. So we're very flexible and very, open to linking to various platforms that you have a need for. So yes, of course, we talked about the big three, the ad platform that everybody knows already about. But let's say you have an email campaign or a CRM. That's super important to track, especially the CRM part of it, because it shows you, that's where it ties back to, okay, what is my cost per conversion? How many leads am I getting?
Right.
What is the return on my investment?
Yes.
How is my investment paying off? So what we've done recently is actually tied it into Easy Leads, which allows us to now see exactly the source, or where do the customer originally coming from. Is it directly from an organic social post, or is it directly from an email campaign that you did? Is it from an ad? Is it from the website? Is it from AI? Yeah. All of these things we can now track, and we can now put a numeric or value behind it. And now it's very easy for us to understand, hey, we should put more emphasis on, for example, email marketing, because that's where most of your customers are engaging and inquiring.
Right.
Or we might say, hey, this campaign is doing very well and this one is not. So we need to shift your investment and look at new opportunities to keep growing your brand.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, again, going back to the knowing where to invest in your marketing. So once we actually can make these things visible, and oftentimes those things exist, but they're not visible anywhere. So if we can dig down and actually make that visible, make the connection between the work that you're doing with your marketing, and actually translate it into real sales, because ultimately that's the ultimate metric.
That's what everybody wants. That's what it boils down to, right?
Exactly.
If we can show them, then
make the phone ring, make people come to our website, but more importantly, make sure that we increase our sales.
That's right. Yeah. And once the business owners can see that very simple metric, and it's not just a number, we actually put the date, the name of the inquiry, and even how they found you.
Exactly.
Once they see that, it just gives them a confident boost in knowing, hey, they're investing in something valuable that's bringing an asset to their business, versus just investing or spending money because they feel like they have to do it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. And I think, again, you're doing an amazing job, and I think
it's a team effort, but thank you.
So thanks for stopping by today and talk about a little bit more about measuring of results. Again, a topic doesn't get a lot of attention, but it really should.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for listening as well. You can find us on edgemarketing.ca and on the social channels if you want to follow up with us. We're local. We're easy to talk to. You can come to our office even. We're
right.
real. We live in the virtual world, but we're very much real people doing real work.
Yeah.
So the next podcast topic will be on reviews and reputation. So that's going to
Wonderful.
be exciting.
That's big stuff. Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. And if you want, make sure to subscribe to this channel so we can serve you with more valuable information to build your marketing and build your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the one thing, if anybody wants to talk about reporting, be happy to sit down, or even if they go to the Edge website and go to the reporting tab, they can actually see how a report that we present to our clients looks like. So if they're just curious, they can go directly to there as well and check it out.
Exactly. Well, thanks again for your time, Robert, and we'll talk to you everybody next time.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me, Peter.